Sports Show on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
And we welcome you in. The new drug today is win, 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 win. It just gets so boring after a while.
It's incredible what this team is doing. I mean, who would have thought coming out of the bye they'd be 5-1 with a 4-game win streak? It's just incredible because they don't do anything like it doesn't seem like a team full of stars, but boy, they collectively. There is something special about the sum of their parts and the way they play together and they complement each other and the toughness and maturity they have. What he has done, what Liam Cohen has done there, again, bravo Shad Khan and bravo Tony Boselli for identifying that this is the guy we cannot let get out of the building. And they did what was necessary, and they got rid of Trent Baalke, and it ended up being one of the greatest moves that has ever happened in franchise history.
It really is amazing that this group came in. Tony Boselli, who's a great football guy and a really smart guy. We had this conversation 1,000 times before he had the job, and he really is all that. He's a bright guy. He's a hardworking guy, but he had never had this job before. James Gladstone clearly was on a path to GM greatness. Everybody knew that everywhere, but he had never been the GM before. Liam Cohen, by all accounts, was going to be a very good head coach when he got the chance to, but he had never been a head coach. It's not like you brought in Doug Peterson, who had won a Super Bowl. It's not like you brought in, it's not like,
this isn't Sean Payton going to Denver.
Correct,
yeah.
Correct. This is three guys that had never done this before, and the way it has worked together, and I will say this, being around them a lot before the season started, the level of confidence and an air of authority that they all had from the day they walked into the door. Tony's been in the door, but the day he walked into that office, the level of confidence and authority with which they do. And the first thing to me that trumps all of that is the ability to not let adversity bother them. It's pretty amazing. They lost to Houston. They blew a 19-point fourth quarter lead. You could hear, same old Jags all over Duval. You heard same old Jags. Of course they blow the lead. Of course they can't have anything good. Why can't we have good? You heard that. And this team never flinched. They've won 4 in a row since then. They've blown out 3. How many times in an NFL season does the backup quarterback finish 3 games in like a month? Backup quarterbacks don't play in the NFL. Barring an injury, you don't bring in the backup quarterback to mop up. Nobody does that, unless you're so far ahead that you do that. It was the 3rd time, so I'm real impressed with the Jags. I mean that, Hayes. I'm real impressed with who they are. I'm real impressed with Trevor Lawrence. You can see it coming with Trevor. He's evolving into a real leader, to an NFL quarterback, trusted by his teammates, makes big-time throws, starting to reduce the bad plays. He hasn't had bad plays the last few weeks. He's playing at a great level. The defensive stars are playing like stars. Josh Hines-Allen and Trayvon Walker and Foye Oluokun and Devin Lloyd are playing like stars. They're playing like guys that were either drafted really high. Not Foye Oluokun, but Devin Lloyd, Josh Hines-Allen, and Trayvon Walker were taken in the first round of the National Football League draft. Trayvon Walker was taken first. Josh Hines-Allen in the top 10. And they're playing like it. They're stars. When you're good, your stars are playing like stars. Travis Etienne was taken in the first round. Trevor Lawrence was taken in the first round, and they're playing like it. They're playing like guys that were drafted really high. Anton Harrison was taken in the first round. So it's
and Brian Thomas Jr.
Brian Thomas Jr.
Another important step forward yesterday.
Yeah, no question. So the stars are playing like stars. I'm glad you added him in. So, it's been a fun. And listen, it's not lost on anybody, before you think we sound too giddy.
I'm giddy.
Yeah, I'm giddy too.
Yeah. But sorry if I'm too giddy.
Yeah, right. I'm with you. I'm too giddy.
You're getting ready for a week of too giddy.
Yeah.
I can promise you that.
I'm right, and I will mirror your too giddy. But I'm going to be honest. I know that Daniel Jones got hurt. I saw it. I know the Titans aren't very good. I've watched enough football. I know. But how many times, not only here, but in the NFL or overall, when you have those advantages and it still doesn't matter for you? Too many times. And so I'm really
look at the Tampa Bay Bucks yesterday. They lost to New Orleans, who's one of the worst teams in the league. I mean, the Bucks are fighting tooth and nail with Carolina, and they go and lose to the New Orleans Saints. Like, this legal, if you're not ready this league is going to get you. And that's why the 4-game win streak is so impressive. And I'm sure Liam Cohen is going to be reminding his team of Tampa Bay losing to the Saints.
That's right.
As the Jaguars turn their attention to a 3-10 Jets team that everybody thinks is terrible.
Right.
But the Jets are 3-3 in their last 6. So yes, they're 3-10. But they're 3-3 in their last 6 games.
Yeah.
So that's right. You gotta watch out.
And they're an NFL team. I mean, look, you went to play the Cardinals, and it was an overtime game. You played the Raiders, it was an overtime game. It's the way the NFL is. So we'll talk a lot about that as the week goes along. But how they're winning, why they're winning, what they're doing to win is really amazing stuff. And they're taking care of business. And again, I think it starts with 16. I think forget the fact. Yeah, he's not a 90, 80, 75% passer yet. But boy, he makes some big time throws, buddy. He makes some big time plays with his feet. He is the things that you saw that made him look like a guy that one day would have the word generational attached to him. You can start to see it. So great win for the Jags yesterday. Kudos to the fans. I saw you sitting there while I had a roof over my head calling the game. I saw you sitting there in that rain, and typically if you're one of the fans that I saw sitting in that rain yesterday and never leaving, that is good stuff.
Absolutely.
That is, good stuff. Good on you, Jag fan, who was there with your raincoat, with your hat, with your hood. And not only was it rainy, it was cold rainy. It's not like it was an August rain that it was rainy, but at least it was hot. It was cold and dreary and rainy and
you
drizzly.
knew it was going to last the whole day.
Yeah, and you never,
so you knew going to the game you were going to be in rain the whole game and in cold temperatures the whole game, and you gutted it out.
Yeah, so good on you.
And the field looked great too.
By the way, the field, Nick and his team did a great job on that field. Did a great job on that field. It looked good. You never saw anybody slip.
No,
there were no slips. Yeah, a lot of times on a wet field, this guy's you never saw.
When they pulled the tarp off, it was like, wow!
I know
it popped.
Yes.
It was so beautiful.
And they have a reputation of being one of the best field crews in the league. By the way, that is
well deserved.
And it is well deserved. All right, so we'll talk some Jaguar football today. Why it happened, where they go now. We'll look at the race. We'll look at the standings. We'll look at kind of where it's headed now, the significance of some of the games coming up. So we'll certainly cover that today on the program. I want to talk a little bit about the college football playoff. JJ, I tried to tell you. I tried to calm you down. Tried to relax you. I said, have a bourbon, relax, put your feet up.
I had plenty.
Yeah. I really believed they would put Miami in ahead of Notre Dame because there's so much talk about the head-to-head. They didn't want to deal with that.
They did the right thing.
Yeah.
They went about it a terrible way.
Right.
And you can't blame them for the 2 G5 schools because that's just the rules,
Yeah.
so they got kind of screwed with Duke winning. I do think Duke winning helped Miami maybe by them looking at it and be like, we also can't not have an ACC team whatsoever in this.
Yeah.
So literally everything on Saturday that had to happen from BYU losing to the very end of the night, Duke winning, happened for Miami. I was scared a little bit that they were going to drop Alabama in between Notre Dame and Miami and then not have to make that decision, but they didn't do that.
Yeah, and that whole you want them to make a decision if there's someone in between them is dumb anyway. But you knew a good team was going to get left out. And make no mistake about it, Notre Dame's one of the 12 best teams.
Oh yeah,
there's no debating that. They're one of the 12 best.
You think
teams.
they're better than James Madison?
but the rules are still here. Let me tell you what happened. I'll say what this whole thing happened. If we still had the old setup, the normal setup. If USC and UCLA and Oregon, Washington were still in the Pac-12, if Texas and Oklahoma were still in the Big 12, if it was still a normal setup, then you had 12 teams. You'd have 5 conference champions, the 5 power conferences, the SEC, the ACC, the Big 10, the Big 12, and the Pac-12. Those 5 would get in. They'd have automatic bids. You could put a group of 5 team in. That's fine. That's 6. And then you'd have 6 at large. It would have been fine. 12 would have worked in the old configuration. But when the money grab started, and then everybody started jumping conferences and going all over the country and 18-team conferences that are cross-country. Well, now there's too many hard games. And now there's too many good teams. So now 12 doesn't work.
The winners of these conferences might be terrible because they might not even play anyone, a la Texas A&M or Duke. Or
exactly right. So, but the money grab caused it. So the money grab needed to happen in conjunction with the move to at least 16. It didn't. The money grab happened when we're still at 12, and that's why we have the mess, and that's why a good team got left home. Again, if you'd have had 16 teams, 5 or if you had still had 12 teams but had the 5 normal conferences, this wouldn't have happened. So Notre Dame's one of the 12 best teams. Miami's one of the 12 best teams. Alabama's one of the 12 best teams. I thought Alabama's a team that was going to get left out.
Me too.
I thought Alabama, the way Georgia gutted them, and I got a thought about that coming up later on the program, was going to get left out. But anyway.
They didn't want to lose the SEC title game, which would have been the
end.
casualty of that.
And that's right. And that's a great point. And that is a great point.
And Sankey would have burned the whole thing to the ground.
That's a very good point. So,
I think Vandy had a good case.
No question they did.
They
didn't have that one big win.
Yeah, it was just one of those. It was one of those years that it just,
But if you had 16, Vandy's in, Notre Dame's in,
Texas would have been in,
and then Team 17's upset. But that's a different conversation.
Yeah. I felt bad for Notre Dame yesterday initially, but from the fallout, now I'm just
they've acted like a bunch of babies. They really have. So all right, we'll take a break. A lot of college football to talk about. I got a thought about John Sumrall I want to get to. I got a thought about these bowl games coming up. I got a thought about the Gator Bowl. I got a thought about all of it. But I want to start with the Jacksonville Jaguars. The Jags are 9-4. They've won 4 in a row, 5 of 6. They're playing at a great level. Why is it happening? We'll give you our thoughts after this.
It's the ride home with the Frangie Show from the Harold and Harold studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
Fred Taylor is now in 1010XL's backfield.
Fred Taylor with 2 touchdowns.
Fred Taylor joins Dan and Jeff on the drill. Monday morning running back with Fred Taylor is fueled by Epstein and Robbins and Monahan Jewelers on 1010XL.
Frank Frangie here for my friend and insurance agent Craig Dewhurst. Craig has been helping families on the First Coast with their insurance needs for 25 years as your good neighbor and local State Farm agent. Now's a great time to review your insurance policies, whether you need auto, homeowners, or renter's insurance, or insurance for your golf cart, boat, or jet skis. Craig handles all of my family's insurance needs, and even better, he gives back to the community. Call Craig today at 904-940-9740. That's 904-940-9740.
This holiday season, Universal Roofing Contracting is making it easy to check roof repairs off your list. Save up to 20% on roof replacements and repairs now through December 31st. Financing is available with payments as low as $115. Call 855-ROOF-HELP for your free inspection. Universal Roofing Contracting, protecting your home and building your trust. License number CCC 057165, CBC 1258484.
UniversalRoof.com. If fishing is in your DNA, hop in the boat with Captain Kevin. It's the Ring Power Fishing Forecast Show. Brought to you by Awaken 180 Weight Loss and Royal Pest Services.
Thursday nights at 6
on 1010XL AM.
Ready for huge holiday savings? It's the Expert Automotive Giving Garage. This Christmas, they're driven to give back. Bring in any new wrap toy donation and get $50 off any service. That's $50 off repairs, diagnostics, or maintenance just for helping a child. Plus, they're giving you 50% off your oil change, $50 off any service with a toy, and 50% off oil changes. The Giving Garage at Expert Automotive. They never sell greed, only what you need.
Instant Keys. You don't have to go to the dealer. Instant Keys comes to you. For lost or broken keys or nearly any make and model of vehicle, call 722-1111 for Instant Keys locksmith service.
After attending a Saturday Bumps and Bruises clinic by Southeast orthopedic specialist, my son's hip and shoulder issues were diagnosed quickly and he's back playing. As a busy family, we really appreciate their prompt attention.
I've been having knee problems for probably 6 months, and I had heard about Southeast Orthopedics on the radio, and I gave them a call. They got me right in. Dr. Kevin Murphy did it. It was painless, and it's been doing fantastic.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
I'm Clayton Bromberg, the president of Underwoods. If you're looking for jewelry this holiday season, we have what you want at Underwoods, and we carry the hottest and best names you'll find anywhere in North Florida. The biggest name in designer jewelry is David Yerman, and his looks are more popular today than they were years ago when Underwoods introduced this designer to Jacksonville. And we carry David Yerman not just in ladies' jewelry, but also in timepieces and his extensive collection of men's jewelry. If it's a watch you're looking for, we carry Rolex and other watches considered to be the best in their price points. We also carry extensive collections of the jewelry we import directly from Italy and Spain that are always popular for their quality, style, and value. So if you want the hottest and most popular jewelry and want to be waited on by the most professional jewelry staff in the business, stop by Underwoods.
Underwoods, where customers are served with quality and respect. In San Marco, Avondale, and the shops of Ponte Vedra. Underwood Jewelers.
I'm Holt Harrell. The holidays are a time we come together as family. These are the moments and memories we cherish. While we miss our loved ones who can't be with us, we enjoy each other's company and look forward to the hope and promises the new year brings. From my family and all of us at Harrell & Harrell, we wish you and your family the very best for this holiday season. Offices, Jacksonville.
Do you want to grow your career with a company that's committed to growing with you? Florida Home AC has aggressive plans to double their workforce, and they're looking for determined, resourceful people with initiative. Just log on to floridahomeac.com/careers to find out more.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah.
Running play with ETN to the middle of the field. Into the end zone. Touchdown. A 3-yard touchdown run by Travis Etienne. And Jacksonville strikes first. Inside handoff. This is Travis Etienne. 25, 20, 15, 10, 5. Along the right sideline. Touchdown. Travis Etienne, a 28-yard touchdown run. And Jacksonville has extended the lead.
It's a Best Bet Monday on The Frangie Show with fantastic locations in Jacksonville, Orange Park, and St. Augustine. It's Best Bet.
I'm not so arrogant to say Travis Etienne was the best back in the game yesterday because the best back in the league probably plays for the Colts. But he was the most effective back in the game yesterday. He played really well. And by the way, Jeff Lagerman talked about this a lot on our broadcast. I can tell you this. Travis Etienne heard about Jonathan Taylor all week long, too, by the way. You know that? Mm-hmm. All week long. Jonathan Taylor. I'm sure Travis is thinking, he's not the only back in the game, right? Right. And I think I'm telling you. So Travis Etienne played very well. That was 2 of the touchdowns that he had in the game, and I'm telling you, it was an exciting game. It was an exciting one to call. It was a taking care of business win, Hayes. They took care of business. Thanks to our friends at The Best Bet. Boy, The Best Bet, always a big time over the holidays. You want to have a good time at The Best Bet. Great time now to head to The Best Bet. All month long. It's not just the off time. In fact, the holidays, when you've got a little time and you're not around, it's a great time. The 12 days of Christmas high hands are back, and they're better than ever this year at Best Bet. Get this. From December 12th, which is about 4 days from now, till December 23rd, high hand giveaways from $1,200 up to $2,300 every hour at all 3 Best Bet locations. How about that? All 3. That's St. Augustine. That's Jacksonville here on Monument Road, and that's, of course, Orange Park on US 17. Lots of fun at The Best Bet. Always head to The Best Bet. You'll be glad you did. Big win for the Jags, a taking care of business win. I'm going to give you 3 or 4 things that stood out. Number 1, their calling card. They're the more physical team. Once again, they were clearly the more physical team. I would say of their 13 games, 9 or 10 for sure, and maybe 11. They've been the more physical team. They really have. I thought just about every time they've been the more physical team. The last Texans game is hard to tell because they weren't the most physical team when they're on offense. Yeah. But they might have been when they were on defense. But they're really a physical team.
We'll call it a draw.
Okay, but they were clearly the more physical team. The second part, they were the ability to get takeaways. I know that they went a stretch without them. But the ability to go find the ball, to try and punch it out, to break on the ball, to jump on top of fumbles, it's not an accident anymore. They clearly are being coached to go get the football. And it's complimentary football is such a cliche, but it's so right. Your team has to, when your defense gets you the ball, Hayes, your offense has to be even better than they would be if you fielded a punt at your own 20. Does that make sense? If if you stop them and they make a couple first downs, then you stop them, they punt it, you start at your own 18. Okay, that's good. But when your defense goes and gets you the ball, there's a different energy. There should be a different energy when you run on the field. That's how complimentary football works, and I thought the Jags really had that. So I thought the most physical team, the takeaways in the complimentary football, and I thought the stars played. Brian Thomas Jr., that's a big boy catch along the right sideline, the one-hander. That's a big boy catch. The one earlier in the game when he had to go up and get it and convert a third down, and he was going to get hit right after is a big boy catch. He still double catches balls a few times, which is why we had the one review on the third catch. But the stars played. Josh Hines-Allen, big again, 4 games in a row with a sack for him. I thought Trayvon was very active. Foyer's always active. He hit yesterday. And I think Trevor Lawrence is playing at a level where he should be playing as one of the elite quarterbacks. He's not there yet. The one thing that hasn't come yet is the high completion percentage, but it's the second game in a row over 100 passer rating. I saw this from JP Shadrick. I'm going to give JP a tip of the cap because JP tweeted this today. Trevor Lawrence has 21 games in his career where he has a passer rating or over 100. In 22, he had a bunch. He had like 7 or 8 of them. That's when he had the most. He's had 21 in his career. The Jags are 17-4 in those 21 games. They're 17-4 when Trevor's over 100 as a passer, and he's been that way the last 2 weeks in a row. So I thought the more physical team, really opportunistic in terms of complementary football. The stars showed up and played, and I think number 16 is really playing.
He is. I mean, some of the throws that he made yesterday were gorgeous throws, some of the best throws of his career, and he used his athleticism, some of the rollouts and throwing on the run, incredibly impressive. And so it starts there. The Brian Thomas Jr. thing, I don't think we can underestimate. We talked about it last week, is just sort of seeing a flicker of maybe he's back to what he was as a rookie in terms of just his physical nature and being locked in and things like that. It was good to then see, because the receiving totals were pedestrian last week for Brian Thomas Jr., but it was the other things that he was doing that led you to believe that he was playing with a different edge. And it was good to see then yesterday him take another step with a 3-catch for 87-yard day. I mean, that's phenomenal stuff for this offense that wants to be, run-based, and for this team that wants to play the run as good as anybody in the league and generate those takeaways. If he can give them 3 explosives of a game, I mean, it makes the Jaguars a very balanced team. And then obviously you factor in what Myers is capable of. Tim Patrick, again, the other hallmark of a good staff is they get the guys you're not expecting to contribute. Tim Patrick yesterday, 5 catches for 78 yards and a touchdown. It could have even been more. But again, for Tim Patrick, that you're not expecting, you understand he's not going to make every play. He is what he is, sort of a journeyman at this stage of his career. But to get that kind of production out of him, again, what Cole Van Lanen's been able to do, what the staff's been able to do to get him comfortable at multiple spots. You're seeing it on the defensive side of the ball. Eric Murray comes back from an injury, generates a turnover. Greg Newsome generates a turnover yesterday. Like, the guys that the stars are playing better, and we marveled at how they were able to navigate a very tough first half and stay in contention with really the stars all being cold. And now their stars are heating up. Their role players, it seems like each week there's a new bunch of guys that are taking a step forward in terms of their contribution. And it's really impressive to see. And obviously, I mean, what Liam Cohen has been able to do is just unbelievable in terms of getting everybody going in the same direction and the belief that they have. And the fact that they did go through the Houston collapse and came out so much better for it on the other side.
That's such a big part of this.
It's incredible for this. I mean, that'd be a heck of an accomplishment if the Ravens or Chiefs or, Eagles, teams that have had success for a number of years, if they had a loss like that, but then they came back and won 4 in a row. It'd be like, well, that's that championship DNA that those franchises have built, that they're sort of falling back on and harnessing to keep their momentum and not allow that to be an albatross that sinks their season. For a franchise like the Jaguars that doesn't have that in their locker room to fall back on, for them to be able to sustain that kind of a haymaker, that kind of disappointment, and then win 4 games in a row, I mean, the mental toughness that Liam Cohen has instilled in this group, and the players deserve a ton of credit too, because they've bought into the message. But it's a beautiful thing to see because it is so potent, and it is going to make them such a dangerous team in the tournament. These are the toughest teams to kill. These teams that are complete teams that believe in each other through and through, they are so hard to kill, and it makes it fun because obviously we've got 4 more games of this, and then you hope this is a team that can make a run in the tournament.
And your point, too, about Liam, what he has unlocked and gotten out of them. And I'll tell you what else he's done. When the rest of the world's ready to give up on somebody is when he's at his best. Brian Thomas Jr. looked awful, didn't want to take hits, dropping balls. Liam never gave up. Liam said, we're going to work through this. Cam Little's making kicks. How many people say, that might need to bring in another kicker or bring in some competition? Liam said, nobody's going to kick his way out of it. Josh Hines-Allen. I think he had 2 sacks through the first however many games. Never gave up on him. Now he's getting a sack every game. Trevor Lawrence made some mistakes early on. Liam, we have a Trevor Lawrence problem. We have a Cam Little problem. We have a Josh Hines-Allen problem. We have a Brian Thomas Jr. problem. Well, now none of them are a problem. And that's a coach that stayed the course with those guys who were struggling. And, again, don't overreact. Don't panic. Don't be knee-jerk. Let the season play out and give your good players a chance to be good players.
I think it's a great point. And he also used a different key in each one of those situations. With Cam, it was kindness. He's going to come out of it. I'm not putting any Cam's our guy. He's an elite kicker. He's going to be fine. I think with Brian Thomas Jr., there was a little bit of the ankle, but I also think there was a little bit of, look, we're going to make him appreciate football. We're going to hope that him missing multiple weeks, a few weeks of the season, kind of maybe re-energizes him as a player. So far, it looks like it has. Josh Hines-Allen, he just flat out called out in the media. I mean, he said after, I think it was the Houston loss, he was like, when we rush forward, we're just not getting there.
Right.
We're not getting there. There's nothing, we're not getting it done when we rush forward. Well, Hines-Allen obviously took that to heart and has been playing at an incredibly high level. And then who was the fourth
Trevor.
guy? Yeah, and then Trevor, it was like, let it rip, which Trevor has done. And I guarantee it was Liam Cohen's idea to go to the wristband.
Right.
Which is, I thought at the time it was, I didn't put a lot of stock in it. I thought, well, maybe it'll speed up the process and that'll be good. But look, for whatever reason, and maybe it's a total coincidence, but I doubt it, Trevor Lawrence is playing better. So whether it gives him maybe the efficiency of it does give him more confidence, however it's working. My point is there's a key to every kid, and Liam Cohen is doing a magnificent job of what is the right key to unlock the full potential of this player. And you've even heard him talking about it and how he's structuring practice now. Like there's certain individual drills that they're altering because they're seeing that there's ways that one guy learns that's different from maybe the way another guy learns. It's really interesting.
And your point, that's a really good point you made about, I made the point that when everybody was panicking about those 4 guys, he never gave up on them. He said, let's be patient and get through it. You made a great point. He dealt differently with all of them, but it worked every time. And now all of a sudden you got 4 stars, 3 first-round draft picks, and maybe the best kicker in the league playing like the best players they can. So it's really good stuff. The Jags win it going away. Obviously, we're remiss if we don't point out that, the Colts had the bad break of all bad breaks. And by the way, I did not like seeing Daniel Jones blow his leg. I mean, you want to win the game, but it was a terrible thing.
I think the Jags would have won the game anyway.
I do too.
But yeah, I didn't want to see Daniel Jones.
Yeah, he's had such a resurgent year. He's had a good year. He's liked by everybody up there. You hate to see that. He blew his Achilles apparently.
He did. Steichen confirmed it about an hour ago.
Oh, he did. So gone
for the year.
Gone for the year, and you really hate that for a guy that's had such a resurgent year, and you hope he recovers and really recovers because he's earned his way back. 19 touchdowns and 7 picks entering the game. He's been very good. So you hated to see that happen.
They're done.
Yeah,
the Colts are done
for this year.
They're not even in the. They're not even in the 7 now. They're the 8th.
Yeah, and later on in the program, we're going to talk about kind of where they are and where the Jags are. 4 games left for the Texans and the Jags. Okay. They both play the Colts. The Texans, I got it wrong. The Texans play them at home. The Jags play them there, but they both play the Colts. Okay. They both have 2 home games that they're going to win, I would think. Mm-hmm. The Texans have the Cardinals at home and the Raiders at home. The Jags have the Jets and the Titans. I would think that's probably 3 wins per team. Now, they're certainly prohibitive favorite in all 3, given the Colts' current situation. So, and the Jags are a game ahead, so it really might come down to the Jags at Denver and the Texans at the Chargers. And so, that's how close this thing is. And we'll see. They split head-to-head. I think the Texans would have the tiebreaker Is that with conference record? Did I see that right?
Well,
I may be wrong about it. I may be wrong about that.
It seems like it's hard to determine
It
now.
is.
So some things would have to, obviously there's still
we don't know
a month.
Yeah.
It seems like it's kind of a coin flip.
Okay.
From what I'm understanding.
Hopefully we stay a game ahead of them and it never comes down.
And
to
it
that.
never comes down.
So the Jags are ahead, gave them ahead of them right now.
Boy, the Texans are
playing
good football
and
too.
they're nasty. They're a nasty physical
nasty.
team.
That hit last night on Rashee Rice.
Yeah, was a big hit.
And no flag. It was a clean hit, but
Yeah,
it was one of the best hits I've seen this season.
We'll take a break. When we come back, college football. I got a thought about this John Sumrall thing. I got a thought about the playoffs. Let's talk some college ball after this.
The Frangie Show from the Harrell and Harrell studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
Business owners, are you tired of getting the runaround from your plumbing or AC vendors? Fire them now and call Duck Duck Rooter. Duck Duck Rooter is the trusted partner for some of the largest commercial companies in Northeast Florida. From a professional accounting office that makes contracts and invoicing seamless to highly skilled field technicians who fix the problems fast, they handle it all. Make the smart move today with Duck Duck Rooter. Call 904-862-6769. 904-862-6769. Duck Duck Rooter, a proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Do you have numbness and tingling in your fingers, or wake up at night and have to shake your hand? Hi, I'm Dr. George Bari, and at Bari Orthopedics, we have a myriad of treatments that can possibly help you. If you have numbness and tingling, you may have carpal tunnel. We have cortisone injections, PRP injections, and shockwave therapy that may help treat the numbness and tingling that you have. We also treat it surgically with endoscopic carpal tunnel release, a 2-centimeter incision that will release the nerve and have you back at work and doing what you want to do in life in no time. If you have numbness and tingling in your hand, give us a call at Bari Orthopedics or log on at bariorthopedics.com.
Post-game Monday on 1010XL. Served by Tandy Foods, making quality fresh sandwiches since 1956.
Your home deserves more than just another coat of paint. It deserves quality that lasts. At First Coast Paint, you'll find premium Benjamin Moore products, trusted advice, and the local experts who help you get it right the first time. Whether it's your living room, your porch, or your whole house, First Coast Paint brings your paint project to life. Stores in St. John's and St. Augustine. One name Jacksonville Trust. Mention 1010XL for 10% off. First Coast Paint. Simply superior paint.
'Tis the season for savings at Green Acres Sporting Goods. Take advantage of the Second Amendment sales tax holiday now through December 31st. Firearms, ammo, and accessories, all tax-free. Secure your holiday gifts with a Browning gun safe, and they'll deliver it right to your door. Come test shoot the newest bows by Hoyt and Matthews at Green Acres Sporting Goods at the corner of Normandy and Hammond Boulevard.
Frank Frangie here to tell you about the coolest new thing, a putting green in my backyard that my friends at Sunshine Turf installed. Sunshine Turf can do the same for you. They'll come to your house, they'll create a custom design for your space, and you'll have an authentic golf course experience right in your own backyard. I freaking love it. Sunshine Turf is family owned and they made the process so simple. So visit sunshineturf.info or call them at 904-383-0243 and get a free quote today for your own putting green. Get it from Sunshine Turf.
Hey, is your home ready for the holidays? Hick in here. Spots are filling up fast. Lock in yours today at ZeroResJacksonville.com and get 20% off all hard surface cleaning, tile and grout, hardwood, LVP. Happy holidays from all of us at Zero Res.
Hey, folks, it's Frank Frangie. Now, I've been telling you about my daughter Amber, and she's been telling you how much weight she's dropped with Awaken 180. It's hard to believe. Even in football season, even when she hangs out with her friends, and even when she tailgates and does all that stuff, she's still losing weight. You can even drink alcohol. Can you believe that? Well, Awaken 180 shows you how to swap calories, not flavor. You have to be disciplined, but they make it easy. Amber and I talk about this all the time. She can't believe how easy it is, and she's so excited about it. But what I will tell you is it's really working. I see how excited she is. I see the look on her face. I see how her self-esteem has changed and her confidence. It's one of the greatest things that's ever happened with my daughter, and it means that much to me. Now, Awaken 180 programs are reimbursable with your HSA or FSA, and those HSA dollars expire December 31st. Don't leave money on the table. Call Awaken 180 today and kickstart your transformation before the new year. Call 844-346-1800. That's 844-346-1800, or go to awaken180weightloss.com.
Hick in here for Action Garage Door. Nothing more frustrating than your garage door misfiring. When it does, I call Action Garage Door. They take action. Jeff Menard and crew, Jacksonville folks, not some big out-of-town chain. Something goes wrong with your garage door, take action. Check them out. Garage Door 911, garagedoor911.com.
Look around and we know you've got options for gasoline, but those other places, they're not in the business of more. At Shell, that's what you get every day. Members get more rewards, more savings, more special offers. You'll even get 10 cents per gallon off of your first fill when you sign up and save on every fill after that. Choose to get more and more with every drive. Join the Shell Fuel Rewards program today at fuelrewards.com. Offer valid at participating Shell locations. Offer must be redeemed within 60 days of registration. Limit 20 gallons. Restrictions apply. Visit fuelrewards.com for more information.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch. 1010
Take.
The 1010 Take is brought to you by Duck Duck Rooter, plumbing, septic, and air conditioning. When you're stuck, call the Duck, duckduckrooter.com. I am amazed at what the presence of John Sumrall has done to Gator Nation. I don't know much about him. I'm like everybody else. I've watched the press conference. I've watched a few other pressers. I watched the Tulane game the other night. I've read about him. But it's astounding to me, and happily astounded, that Gator Nation, who hated their AD, which I've never gotten, by the way. I've never gotten it. Gator Nation, which wanted Lane Kiffin or wanted to shut down the program. One of the two. Let's get Lane Kiffin or let's quit playing football. And let's hate everybody. Lane or bust. Lane or bust for 2 months. Miraculously, and I wasn't Lane or bust, but I wanted Lane too. Somehow this guy from Alabama who played linebacker at Kentucky, who's never been a head coach anywhere, any Power 4 school, does this presser. He's a ball coach now. Does a presser. Hires a coordinator, offensive coordinator for Georgia Tech, hires a defensive coordinator for Kentucky, says some funny things, awkward, clunky funny, but funny at the presser, smiles, and all of Gator Nation is thrilled. And by the way, and I'm pointing to myself too, not others, it's crazy. I have no idea how good a coach you'll be. I have no idea how many games you're going to win. I've learned a long time ago, quit predicting how a coach will do. I have no idea. I didn't know how Liam Cohen was going to do. I didn't know. I've quit predicting. But I'm astounded how he has galvanized Gator Nation with a press conference and a Tulane win. And it's a beautiful thing because, and this is not me predicting how good he'll be because I don't know. But Gator Nation, which was mad at the world forever, mad at the world, mad at each other, mad at their wives, mad at their neighbors, mad at everybody, mad at football, mad at the sport, wanted to fire Scott Strickland 12 times, hated Billy Napier's black clothes, all of a sudden, Gator Nation, you would think they just hired Nick Saban. And for whatever reason, it's wonderful. I'm not smart enough to know why yet. And again, I'm talking about myself too. I'm not smart enough to why I'm so happy about this. I can't explain it. My wife, who doesn't follow sports all that close, she goes, "Man, you're happy about this new coach?" I said, "I think I am." She goes, "Why?" I said, "I don't know. I don't know why." But it's amazing how this guy we know nothing about has kind of galvanized Gator Nation everywhere you look, and that's the 10-10 Take.
And it's a great one. I'll take you through my personal experience, which obviously I've talked to you about. So the day after Thanksgiving, last Friday, I as a person, I'm very lucky. I don't tend to get in bad moods. I don't tend to get down.
Yeah,
I'm just sort of upbeat. But I was the day after Thanksgiving. You know, we were off. We didn't have a show, and obviously all the family stuff was the day before. So Friday, I just sort of had a day. And that was the day where I finally learned that I finally accepted it wasn't going to be Kiffin. And I was in I'll say a sports depression.
Right.
I was bummed out that Florida wasn't going to get Lane Kiffin. If you had told me that 1 week later, I think we talked about this at the toy drive on Friday. If you had told me that a week later I would feel as good about the direction of the Florida football program as I do, I would have been astounded. And I'll tell you my whys for why it's happened. He's had 4 tests, and he's passed them all in terms of John Sumrall. I still think the search was botched, and I'll always think that. But it doesn't matter if John Sumrall was right, if he ends up being the right hire. Who cares how they got to it as long as it worked. Sumrall, in my opinion, has passed 4 tests. They retained the signing class. I still don't know how they did that. And I'm sure money played some role in it, but you also never convinced me that that Florida was the only school willing to pay him this amount. So how, on just a first impression, he was able to keep the signing class intact. I mean, they didn't have anybody flip. I mean, even in normal years, normally you've got somebody that flips kind of late or thing. I mean, I thought they'd lose, of the whatever it was, 17, 18 kids they had.
Handful
I thought they'd lose 5 or 6 at least.
Right.
So you retain your signing class. I thought he handled that beautifully. Tulane, by the way, retained theirs as well, which I do think speaks to Sumrall in that regard too. So it started there. He then goes and hires a brilliant defensive coordinator. Every time I've watched Kentucky for the last 7 years, they pretty much shut down everybody that they play, even though we know their talent level isn't extraordinary. I've always been impressed with their defensive scheme and their approach and how well they play. So makes a fantastic defensive coordinator hire, in my opinion. We'll see if it works. Then he goes and gets like the best offensive coordinator in the country. There still seems to be some whispers of, will Buster Faulkner really make it to Gainesville? Because there's still, the carousel is still going, and there's some,
He could get a head job.
I guess it's like Southern Miss where he still might be in play there. But it seems like he's going to be the coordinator of Florida. I mean, that's what Florida fans have been yearning for 4 years now, is to have an elite play caller, offensive coordinator. So he's checked that box, a box that the previous guy never checked in 4 years. He's checked it in 5 days. So that was the third test that he passed. And then watching Tulane Friday night in that championship game against North Texas, I saw a guy who
Did he blow his timeouts? Or?
Yeah. I mean, you get to the end of that first half, and we've talked about this, so you know exactly where I'm going.
Well, we were kind of texting during.
Yeah. I mean, he gets to the end of the first half in a pivotal moment where Tulane can go score some points, and he has all 3 of his timeouts left because his team is well organized, and they haven't had to blow 1 or 2 for frivolous reasons earlier in the first 30 minutes of play. But just how he managed it, obviously you get wrapped up. You know, Tulane gets a big fumble return. Sumrall's running down the field. That's great. You know, you love to see that. But that's not, that's not what like carries the day for me in terms of watching him. The way that game was orchestrated, the way that the players obviously, if anything, played harder for him and more with more focus for him. So they obviously handled the distraction of him leaving about as beautifully as you can. And I thought it was a masterpiece. And then just seeing the presentation after the celebration, you can tell how Sumrall is embraced by that Tulane community, how much it means to him. It just radiates off the screen that this guy might have star potential. Now, will he fulfill that at Florida? We'll have to wait and see. But as a fan, all I can go off of is the early results, and he's 4 for 4.
Yeah, well, let me say something. I heard you say that. I'm counting them up before we go to break, because I'm going to do headlines. But you just hit on 4. I'm listening to you. You hit on 4 things that are anti-Billy Napier. Nobody left. Well, Trevor Etienne and some others did leave Billy. Okay, he hired an offensive coordinator. I don't need to get into that. Okay, he managed the timeouts well. He managed the game well. So he saw his sideline coaching. I don't need to get into that. And he handled himself respectfully. Billy Napier was always respectful, but the pressers were clunky. You know, he was always a nice guy, and I'm glad he got the James Madison job, and I hope he does great there. But it was always clunky. You know, it was always, this guy wasn't clunky. So what you just said, I didn't think. I'm hearing you say that.
Yeah.
You said
well,
4.
Sumrall worked the refs in the game.
Yeah, right.
Napier never did that.
You just did 4 anti-Billy things. So we'll see. So I have no idea if he's going to be good. I hope he is. Obviously, you always hope your guy's good. But I'm not. But I'm watching. I'm reading social media. I'm talking to people on the street. Everybody's thrilled about the guy, and I never thought that would happen if it wasn't Kiffin. I guess it's amazing that it happened that way. We'll take a break. Headlines are next. Stay with us.
It's the ride home with the Frangie Show from the Harrell and Harrell studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
Get the goods on Gainesville 24/7. Search 1010XL Gators on YouTube.
Frank Frangie here. Nimnick Chevrolet is proud to be an 8-time Chevrolet Dealer of the Year recipient. the only dealership in Northeast Florida to ever win this prestigious award. Earned by treating customers with courtesy, respect, and fairness, all part of Nimnick's Treating You Right guarantee. Visit NimnickChevy.com to learn more. For 3 generations, Nimnick has been the place customers keep coming back to. I've been buying my vehicles there since 1982 because they care about their customers and are invested in our local community, including supporting walk-off charities and all we're trying to do to give underprivileged kids a chance to play baseball. Treating you right, giving the most back to the community, more choices and better prices for you. So who has put the most years and stands behind a better experience? Nobody but Nimnick. Visit the showroom off Cassett Avenue or shop 24/7 at NimnickChevy.com. Remember again, who does it best? Nobody but Nimnick. Chevrolet, together let's drive.
Welcome to the Bundle event. Entering now our undisputed tag team champions, the mid-size SUV and the mid-century modern. Together with a State Farm agent, this auto and home duo are a powerful force of savings, service, and customizable coverage. Now, let's get ready to bundle.
Call State Farm agent Jason Judy in Jacksonville at 904-416-1732.
Availability and amount of discounts and savings vary by state.
Listening that fits your schedule perfectly.
Absolutely brilliant. Go on demand.
Ad-free shows after the live shows end.
How about that? Channeled by
Duck Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic and Air Conditioning. Search where you find podcasts.
Jimerson Burr is a full-service, Florida-based commercial law firm that has experience and capabilities to handle any legal issue a business is confronted with. Learn more about what they can do for you at jimersonfirm.com.
When you're faced with damage in your home from water, fire, or mold, you need a team with the expertise to fix it right.
Rest-A-Pros.
A locally owned, nationally backed franchise that's here to help you when you need them. A team that does it right the first time.
Rest-A-Pros.
Remember, you don't have to use the insurance company's preferred contractors. Get it done right by a licensed professional you can trust. Call 904-201-9151 or go to RestaProsAnyFlorida.com. That's RestaProsAnyFlorida.com.
Rest-A-Pros.
Hey, First Coast, it's your boy Leon Searcy, your lemon pepper guy. Back and better than ever for Wingstop. You know I can't resist those crispy, flavorful wings that make your taste buds dance. Wingstop just opened a hot new spot on Jeremiah Street in Middleburg. There's 17 locations now serving up the most mouth-watering wings in town. And my all-time favorite, lemon pepper. Try their new quick and easy ordering on the app and swing by today for fresh, hot wings made for you. Only at Wingstop.
Lucas Tree Service is a certified arborist and a local family-owned business with over 45 years of experience. They specialize in tree removal, trimming, and stump grinding for both residential and commercial properties. Get prepared for storm season and receive top-notch customer service from Lucas Tree Service, 904-241-3533. Online at lucastreeservice.com.
When it comes to glass, you don't want average. You want flawless. Duval Glass & Mirror has transformed homes and businesses across Jacksonville for over 35 years. Frameless showers that wow, mirrors cut exactly to your style, fogged or broken glass replaced, decorative tabletops, windows replaced or repaired to stand up to Florida storms. All backed by a 100% guarantee. Visit DuvalGlass.com for your free quote. There's only one name for glass and mirror around these parts. It's Duval!
The new Ackerman Cancer Center is now open at World Golf Village, providing state-of-the-art screenings and diagnostic exams with no referral required. Same-day appointments are available. Call today or visit AckermanCancerCenter.com.
Home is where your story begins. And at Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing, we're here to make it the healthiest, most comfortable place it could be. Whether it's fresh, clean air, dependable plumbing, or reliable power, we take care of it all. From routine maintenance to state-of-the-art solutions, Donovan keeps your home running smoothly. Because at Donovan, we believe your home isn't just where you live, it's where your health meets comfort. Call Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing at 904-270-COOL or visit us online. Let's make your home healthier, safer, and better together.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? Gather round. It's Hayes' Headlines, presented by Harrell & Harrell. Don't settle for less than you deserve. Hear all about it. Here's Hayes Carline.
Welcome back to the Frangie Show. Frank Frangie is here along with JJ LaSelva. I am Hayes Carline. Thank you to our friends at Harrell & Harrell. Give them a call at 251-1111. Trust me, my friend Holt Harrell will take fantastic care of you. Hopefully you won't need them, but people get injured, unfortunately. Harrell & Harrell, 251-1111. Frank, let's get started with that huge win yesterday. In rainy conditions, the Jaguars whipped the Colts 36-19. What were your biggest takeaways from that victory?
How efficient it was, how they're the more physical team, how Travis Etienne matched Jonathan Taylor yard for yard, and there's so many, the complementary football. But first and foremost for me is number 16. I think it's a quarterback league, and when your quarterback's playing like he's playing, converting third downs with his feet, knowing when to run and how to run, some of the throws he made, some of the accurate throws he made, the touchdown throws, other throws. I think Trevor is really evolving into what we all hope Trevor Lawrence would be. And by the way, in 31 years, there have been 10 starting quarterbacks, 10 quarterbacks that started a season for the Jags. Now, I'm counting Chad Henne because he started one season. I mean, I'm 10 guys who started opening day. Of the 10 quarterbacks who started opening day, 2 have authored 3 winning seasons. Mark Brunell and Trevor Lawrence. Two of the 10. Trevor's what stood out for me.
Yeah, very impressive. Let's give you a playoff update. The Jaguars now 9-4 in sole possession of first place in the AFC South. The Jaguars are currently the 3 seed. The Chargers play tonight against the Eagles. They're right now it would be Chargers going to the Jaguars wild card weekend, but we'll see if where LA falls after they play the Eagles tonight. But the Jaguars in fantastic shape, a game up on the Texans and Colts.
Yeah, and they what they did, Hayes, they survived the rugged part of their schedule, despite how much the Chiefs are struggling now. Chiefs, 49ers, Seahawks, Rams, all bunched in, Texans twice, all bunched in there together. That's a tough go, man. And they survived those first 10 games in that brutal schedule. And now the schedule lightens up a little bit, and they're taking advantage. And so they're in a great spot. They're 9-4. Look, I think by now we're all pretty convinced they'll win no fewer than 11 games. And I think 13 still on the table. So, yeah, they're in a great spot, no question.
Let's get to the opponent yesterday, the Indianapolis Colts. Quarterback Daniel Jones did tear his Achilles. Coach Shane Steichen confirming that today when he met with reporters. Terrible news for the Indianapolis Colts, who now not only is this season probably ruined, now you're kind of uncertain who your week 1 starting quarterback is for the 26th season.
Well, yeah, great point. I hadn't even thought about that. Bad news for Daniel Jones, too. He had worked his way back, a guy that was a high draft pick. It never worked out at his first location or his second. He was in Minnesota, too. Really sort of found himself. It was a great story. It really was. And he earned that story, and Daniel Jones did, and the Colts did. And now gone for the year. I hadn't even thought about next year. He's gone for the year. So now, because your other high-drafted quarterback, Anthony Richardson, gone for the year because of the orbital bone injury, you're having to play a rookie in Riley Leonard. I don't even know who the backup's going to be. I guess they'll sign a backup.
They've got like Brett Rippon on their practice squad. I saw, and then everybody thinks I think their hope is that the Giants will cut Russell Wilson.
Something like that, yeah.
And then maybe they'll be able to get Russell Wilson, but they're in real dire straits.
Yeah, so you're at a point now that Riley Leonard, your rookie's got to be your quarterback. And I hadn't even thought about next year, but yeah, Achilles tend to take a while if he's not ready to play next year.
He's a free agent too.
And that's right. And good point. And will Anthony Richardson be ready to play? So it's a shame for the Colts. Look, the Colts are the enemy. The 3 teams in the division are the enemy. But they had a marvelous start to the season, 7-1, and what a disaster their year's become.
Yeah, it looks like they're probably not going to make the playoffs. They are not in as of now. The Colts are the 8th seed, and obviously 7 go. So they've gone from the 1 seed to out of the tournament in the last 5 weeks. Week 14 concludes tonight with the Chargers hosting the Eagles. Both teams are 8-4. Who do you like tonight?
Yeah, the Eagles are. I heard you and Max talking earlier. The Eagles are a tough matchup for the Chargers. They're physical. I'm going the other way.
Okay.
I think the Chargers at home are going to win the game. I think the Chargers need to win the game. I'll take the Chargers.
Sounds good. Let's get into college football. The playoff rankings are out. Miami made the field. Notre Dame arguing they're the biggest snub. What'd you make of it?
I was not surprised at all. I told you guys last week the last thing that committee wanted was to answer questions about the head-to-head 484 times. So Notre Dame was not going in ahead of Miami. I never doubted that for a moment. But it's messed up because Notre Dame's clearly one of the 12 best teams. They're probably one of the 8 or 9 best teams, and they're not in the field. And when a team that could win the national championship is not, and they could win the national championship. When a team that could win it's not in the field, you've messed it up. But they shouldn't have been in ahead of Miami. I probably would have dropped Alabama. And I know people say, well, you shouldn't because they shouldn't get hurt because they made the SEC championship game. But that's probably what I would have done. And so I would have dropped them. But, hey, I'm glad Miami's in. I think Miami belonged in ahead of Notre Dame. They beat them head-to-head, fair and square.
Speaking of Alabama and that SEC title game lost, what a performance by Georgia. You've been saying for a while now you believe Georgia's going to win the national title. Hard to see it any other way after watching them just dominate Alabama.
It's an NFL team, Hayes. We were talking about that in the press box yesterday. That's an NFL team. Those defensive players, those receivers, those running backs, Georgia's got an NFL. Georgia's team is as NFL as any team I have seen in college football since those Canes and Knowles teams in the 80s and 90s. Since those late 80s.
Well, Saban's Bama.
Yeah. You're right. They were NFL too.
I mean, to me, they're on that, which is saying.
You're right. You're right.
Huge praise.
And listen, Saban's Bama teams were great. Urban's Florida teams were great. The teams that were great those years are great. Ohio State had some great teams too. But this team looks like it has more NFL guys. It looks like they're playing with 15 players. And every time they're on defense, they look to me like old Miami and old FSU. And no one's beating them. No one's going to beat them. No one. They have too many NFL players. They got a team of NFL players, and they're really good.
I tell you, this Indiana story is it's the most remarkable thing I've ever seen in college football. Indiana stuns Ohio State to win the Big Ten title game. It's shocking what Kirk Cignetti's been able to do there.
In 2 years.
He's
done it in 2 years.
He's lost like 2 games in 2 years, coaching the Indiana Hoosiers.
And he didn't even have a quarterback this year, so he went to Cal and got his quarterback from Cal and brought his brother along with him, so you have a backup. It's an amazing – and they're good too now. They're legit. Now, when I say no one's going to beat Georgia, that is no disrespect to Indiana or Ohio State. They're both legit. I just think Georgia's that good. He's done a great job. Indiana is as good. And, by the way, we all watched that game. It wasn't a fluke. They didn't get a couple good breaks and upset the better team in Ohio State. Indiana was the better team. Forget about who has got the 5 stars. Indiana was the better team that night. And so, what a great win for Indiana.
I was scared the game was over immediately when Mendoza got hurt on the first play.
Me too.
It looked like his right shoulder was separated
Thought
or
the same
something.
thing.
And then he came right back.
One play
and
later.
He won the Heisman.
The brother came in for one play. He came right back. But I thought so too, JJ. I thought, what a letdown.
Yeah.
But they were the better team. They deserved to win.
Gators fans got an early look at their new head coach on Friday night. Florida coach John Sumrall in the playoffs as his Tulane squad wins the American Athletic Conference and is the 11th seed in the tournament.
Yeah, I don't know how much you can tell about how Florida will play because it's 2 different coordinators.
He's even already warned that. He said how you see us Friday is not how we're going to play at Florida.
Yeah, so it's a little different.
Yeah.
But I said it earlier in the program. I have no idea how good he'll be at Florida, but the way his presence has galvanized Gator Nation, who was so upset about Strickland and the Kiffin thing, is one of the most amazing things I've ever seen.
Without a doubt, we'll get you out on today's musical note. Today we pay tribute to the late John Lennon. Today marks the 45th anniversary of his assassination in 1980. He was 40 years old, the founder of the Beatles. Before embarking on a successful solo career, Lennon was part of 25 songs that reached #1. This is Imagine.
I wondered today, is Hayes going to play Imagine in headlines? I did. When I saw the story, I didn't realize it was the anniversary until I saw it on social media. I said, I'll bet he's going to play Imagine. Great song, beautiful song, and one of the great musicians of all time, John Lennon. We'll take a break. Hour 2's next. Stay with us.
Imagine all the people living for today.
The Frangie Show from the Harold and Harold studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
How does it feel to throw an NFL touchdown? Find out from a guy who's thrown 89 of them.
I'm David Garrard on 1010XL.
Mondays from 10 to noon on Jaguars Today. Restored by Resto Pros of Northeast Florida.
Frank Frangie here for Stanley Pools. If you're dreaming of putting in a pool this year, choosing the right company is the most important decision you'll make. I've trusted Stanley Pools to build my pool, renovate my pool, and maintain my pool. Stanley Pools has been the best in the business since 1988, and they're still family-owned. Call them today at 904-269-7277 or find them online at stanleypoolsfl.com. That's Stanley Pools, a family tradition of fine swimming pools.
If you're ready to transform your yard with a fence that stands out, elevate your curb appeal with Superior Fence and Rail. Superior takes pride in offering first-class service, friendly installers, and unmatched fence products. Mention this ad and get $250 off your next project. It's time to get off the fence and call today.
When you're on the fence, about a fence, SuperiorFenceandRail.com.
The boys
And for
are
two
back
more.
in the kitchen.
Don't start the barbecue without me.
Joe, Matt, and Leon give you plenty to chew on during lunchtime. Freshly baked bread from the big #1 Duval Ford Studios.
Thank you for lunch, boys.
Noon to 2 weekdays on 1010XL.
Rick Ballou for Coy Dental. That's right, Carlson Dental is now Coy Dental. Dr. Lee has been practicing there for 9 years, has purchased the company. The Coy Dental team still has the same great dentists and staff. And remember, if you get nervous visiting a dentist, don't. There's never a problem at Coy Dental. With light sedation for cleaning, then deep sedation for all your restorative needs. Coy Dental, located in Bartram Park.
Do you want to grow your career with a company that's committed to growing with you? Florida Home AC has aggressive plans to double their workforce, and they're looking for determined, resourceful people with initiative. Just log on to FloridaHomeAC.com/careers to find out more. We're talking a competitive, guaranteed base salary with bonus opportunity, comprehensive paid training programs, and promotions based upon performance and top shelf benefits. It's all waiting for you. Log on to FloridaHomeAC.com/careers. Florida Home AC, equal opportunity employer.
WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Bold flavors make great gifts. Buy a $50 Flame Broiler gift card for friends, family, or coworkers and get a free bottle of the legendary magic sauce. Visit any 5 Jacksonville locations or flamebroilerusa.com.
Pick it here for Oceanside Cleaners, the very best in dry cleaning service. Free pickup and delivery, or use their self-service kiosk in Ponte Vedra and Southside for drop-off and pickup. Dry cleaning, laundry, bedding, and bridal gown preservation. If it's got fabric, they can clean it. Oceanside Cleaners.
Universal Roof and Contracting presents the Offensive Player of the Game. Universal Roof and Contracting. The difference is universal.
Trevor Lawrence rained pain against the Colts on Sunday. The Golden One recorded 244 yards on 17 of 30 passing and added 2 touchdowns in what was a dazzling performance. The kid shined bright despite the conditions, and he's your Universal Roof and Contracting Offensive Player of the Game.
This holiday season, Universal Roof and Contracting is making it easy to check roof repairs off your list. Save up to 20% on roof replacements and repairs now through December 31st. Financing is available with payments as low as $115. Call 855-ROOF-HELP for your free inspection. Universal Roof and Contracting, protecting your home and building your trust. License number CCC 057165, CBC 1258484.
UniversalRoof.com.
I'm Holt Harrell. I was talking to someone the other day, and they were shocked that some lawyers get more from a case than their own client. After paying bills and costs, if we are supposed to get more than a client, we won't. That's the Harrell and Harrell promise. When we say that we treat our clients like family, we mean it. If you've been in an accident, call us today. 251-1111. Harrell and Harrell. Offices, Jacksonville.
I'm Max Fink with your 1010XL Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update. The Bulls Bulldogs defeated Cardinal Gibbons Friday night 42-20, punching their ticket to the state championship on Wednesday night. Well, they'll face Cardinal Mooney with that game airing on 1010 a.m. The 15th-ranked Florida Gators basketball team will face the 5th-ranked UConn Huskies tomorrow night at 9, also on 1010 a.m. It's 56 degrees at 5 o'clock time and temp, brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah.
It's a Best Bet Monday on The Frangie Show with fantastic locations in Jacksonville, Orange Park, and St. Augustine. It's Best Bet.
And we do thank our friends from the Best Bet. High Hands continue this month at Best Bet Jacksonville, Monday through Thursday through December 11th. I said high hands. Let me correct myself, Hayes. High hams. That's right. High hands win a honey-baked ham. Compliments to our friends at the Best Bet. Always fun stuff, promotions going on at Best Bet. That's Best Bet Jacksonville on Monument Road. But there's also great fun in St. Augustine and in Orange Park. Always a Best Bet Monday around here as we look back at the football weekend. You can find out, by the way, all the things they're doing by going to bestbetjacks.com. I'd like some college thoughts. Let me get through them. I'll rapid fire. You got me to talk about one of them during the headline segment, Hayes. Georgia is so good defensively. Georgia is so physical. I think Georgia's winning the national championship. I think Gunnar Stockton, by the way, is a really good player. He's a Georgia quarterback. I think he'll play some in the NFL. I don't think he's a starter in the NFL. But my goodness, do they have NFL players. That's as NFL-ready a team as you will ever see in college football. And look, maybe somebody will get them in the playoffs, but I don't think.
They've got a tough road.
Yeah, they do. It was an interesting by coming in fourth, or were they third?
They came in third,
Yeah.
so they've got Ohio State in all likelihood in the semifinal. But even before, they'll probably be fine. I don't think the Tulane Ole Miss winner can beat Georgia in the Sugar Bowl, so I think they're fine there. So Georgia gets a bye, and then I think they have a very advantageous game in the Sugar Bowl against the winner of Tulane Ole Miss. But after that, to win the national title, they're going to have to beat some combination of either Ohio State, Texas A&M, or Miami.
Yeah.
That's brutal.
Yeah.
Like the Texas A&M Miami, that is by far, I think, the best opening round game in terms of a team that could win the title.
Cheapest
But anyway.
tickets, $504.
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
Because you've looked, right? Of course you've looked.
Yeah.
And
but anyway, but to your point, but they're the best team.
They're an NFL-ready team.
They only had the longest play of the day on offense for them was 19 yards against Bama. Didn't matter.
Yeah,
they didn't have to do anything on offense. They played a short field, and
all those guys you're going to look up and they're going to be playing for the Eagles and the Broncos and the Bears and the Packers and the Cowboys. The whole team.
It's now deep enough into his run where when you're watching Sunday Night Football and the players that will say they're college, every third guy is Georgia.
And they really
It
are.
used to be like that with Bama. And Bama still has, don't get me wrong, a very strong presence.
But you're right.
But the Kirby era is now deep enough to where it is literally every third player is from Georgia.
It's amazing that it's like that.
Yeah.
I mean, it really is. So, and this team will fit right in.
Yeah.
So that stood out to me. So that one.
I mean, Florida's right there. They've got a couple punters that are pretty good in the league.
So that jumped off the page for me, number one. Number two, our friend Greg McGarity will be in here on Thursday. And I love Greg, and I love the Gator Bowl, and I love the history and the passion of the Gator Bowl, and I love the way he's made it work. Greg is such a good executive director. I didn't like the game they drew. I feel bad for him. Greg's always wanted proximity. He got Missouri and Virginia. He had no say in that, by the way, just so you know. It's not like the Gator Bowl went out and picked it. And by the way, they'll do a great job promoting it. It's a Saturday night, and I hope people will go out and watch it because it's the Gator Bowl, and I hope you'll support local. And it's still a college football game and two teams that have been good of late. But I wish he hadn't gone. I'm not going to be disingenuous either. I wish they hadn't drawn Missouri and Virginia. I wish they'd have had Georgia Tech, Tennessee, somebody that's a little more southern.
I wonder if Notre Dame not taking a bowl somehow caused.
Oh, I think it
had to
was
affect
a
them.
huge,
Had to affect them.
huge problem.
Had to affect them.
Yeah,
had to.
huge problem not having them in the pool.
So I wish they'd have gotten a southern. I had to affect them. I wish they'd have gotten a southern more team.
I agree. When the matchup was announced yesterday during the Jags game, obviously we're in the press box, and it was. I mean, everybody's reaction was, "Oh, wow,
yeah,
that's going to be tough."
Yeah, and so hopefully, again, Greg and his staff do such a good job, they'll make it work. But I wish they would have had I wish we had a way where there would have been a more southernmost team in that. That was Vanderbilt.
I mean, yeah, you thought you might get like Tennessee, Georgia Tech,
Tennessee, Miami.
Yeah, but even like Miami, like making it, like like Tennessee, Georgia Tech would have been, certainly.
And Notre Dame was here a few years ago. Notre Dame, South Carolina was a wonderful game.
Right.
Yeah.
And anyway, so that's tough. For
sure.
The
Heisman race is over. Who's winning? I can't tell you who I voted for. We're not allowed to, but I'll tell you next week who I voted for. But who do you think's going to win the Heisman?
I would guess Mendoza, but not that he put up like gaudy numbers against Ohio State. But he's the quarterback of undefeated number one,
and he was the last one on TV.
Yeah.
There was really not a guy that jumped out for everybody, so I think it probably will be Mendoza because he was the last one on TV and he won a huge game and he had the speech on TV and which by the way, What an interesting character. I don't know if you saw his post game.
Yeah, it was a little unique for sure.
Yeah.
But I think Pavia is who I would vote for. I don't have a vote, but if I had a vote, I think I'd vote for, and I don't watch a ton of college football, so I shouldn't have a vote. But I would give it to Diego Pavia just because, I mean, what he's done at Vanderbilt is remarkable, and Mendoza as well.
Yeah.
But I just think the road that Pavia has had to take, the schedule Vanderbilt had week in and week out. Obviously, he was brilliant in the win at Tennessee in the finale. So I'd probably vote Pavia if it were me, but I think Mendoza is going to be the Heisman winner.
All right, so we will certainly see. We'll know in a week or so, and then we'll talk all about. I'll tell you who I voted for, and you'll also tell you all three of mine. You get to vote three. The first place vote gets 3 points. The second gets 2, and the third place vote gets a point. So we'll talk about that all coming up. We'll take a break. When we come back, my buddy Bucky Brooks joins us. We're going to talk about that fantastic Jaguar win after this.
The Frangie Show from the Harrell and Harrell studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
Get everything you need to know for your weekend on Pre-Game Friday.
We've saved the best for last.
Who's in, who's out, who's on upset watch, and I like it. Pre-Game Friday, built by Dreamfinders Homes on 1010XL.
The doctors at Southeast Orthopedic Specialists have resolved my hip and foot issues, and I'm back to training for the 2028 Olympics in LA. This is Garrett Scantling, and I highly recommend Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
This is David Garrard. Following my knee surgeries and recovery, I'm continuing to feel great and would recommend Southeast Orthopedic to anyone who's experiencing orthopedic pain.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Big Chief Tire makes auto care more affordable with 6-month financing through the CFNA credit card. Frank Frangie here. Plus, get $50 off your first purchase when you sign up. Whether you need new tires, brake service, or general repairs, their expert technicians have you covered. With no interest for 6 months, now's the perfect time to take care of your vehicle. Visit WeKeepJacksRollin.com or call 904-932-0950 to apply today. Big Chief Tire keeps Jacks rolling.
I'm Max Fink, and I'll bring you the Gator Report several times weekly to keep you connected to Gainesville.
The Gator Report, put together by San Jose Collision on the home of the Florida Gators, 1010XL.
Go, Gators!
Chelsea here. Ready to upgrade your windows or patio doors before the new year? During Renewal by Anderson's December sales event, buy one, get one 40% off. And with 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest for 18 months, it's never been easier to say yes. Renewal by Anderson's Acclaim Impact windows are built for Florida, designed to help you save on energy bills while keeping your home comfortable year-round. Offer ends December 31st. Restrictions apply. Visit bestwindowsflorida.com. License number CGC 1527613.
Bueller. Stay cooler with Bueller.
Hey, Jason, I'm worried.
You? Really? About what?
Well, I like to have a little seasonal potluck. You know, invite some friends and neighbors and guys from the office. But if the food gets spicy and the party gets rocking and that old toilet in the two-piece can't handle the traffic, well, what if my drain backs up right in the middle of everything?
Dude, imagine you're wearing my sunglasses.
Okay. Shoomp. Whoa.
If you're planning to host a holiday party and a blocked household drain line threatens to ruin the whole thing, call us and tell us. The drain clearing experts at Bueller Air & Plumbing will unclog your drain for free.
You do that for free?
It's Christmas.
Yeah, but for free?
The holidays can get pretty hectic. If a clogged drain line threatens to ruin the whole thing, you could miss it.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Visit BuellerAir.com.
You like winning? This is former Jaguar linebacker Tom McManus, and I'm excited to introduce you to J-Dog Junk Removal and Hauling of Greater Jacksonville. If you're a property manager, contractor, builder, realtor, or homeowner, get that feeling of success with less stress. I've used them. My friends have used them. So get your free junk removal and hauling estimate today. Now, I call that a win. Veteran-owned and operated J-Dog Junk Removal and Hauling. Call 506-1256. We haul it all.
I'm here with Danny Van Sickle, director of the Electrical Training Alliance. Danny, tell me about your program.
Hey, Rick. We're a 4-year electrical apprenticeship. Our students start out making over $40,000 a year, and right now make over $90,000 a year, including benefits. There is no tuition or student debt. You just have to apply and get accepted.
Did you say no tuition and no student debt?
You heard that right, Rick. Once you're accepted to the program, your only cost for the books and the course fees. About $800 a year.
That sounds like an amazing opportunity. How can I learn more?
Just go to etajax.org and you can apply there.
Apply by May 14th.
Come to Monahan Jewelers' 48th annual holiday sale now with up to 30% off on GIA certified diamonds and up to 40% off our entire store. Certified diamonds, gemstones, engagement rings, diamond studs, designer brands. We're not a big box store. We're your local family jeweler with an amazing hand-picked inventory for every budget. And with interest-free financing, enjoy beautiful jewelry with a low monthly payment. Support your local family jeweler this Christmas with up to 40% off our entire inventory. Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach open 7 days a week in December.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch.
The buck stops here. Time now for Bucky Brooks, brought to you by Coyle & Sons, Jacksonville's commercial fence specialist, on the Frangie Show.
All right, we thank our friends from Coyle & Sons. All those fellas out there today working at the Bregan Baseball Complex. You can call them at 904-356-4821. You can log on to coiljacks.com, whether it's residential, commercial fencing, overhead doors, bathroom partitions, they do it all. Coyle & Sons, call them today. Bucky Brooks joins us now. Bucky's getting boring, bro. Win, right? It's all we do is win. How about that?
I mean, it's great. I mean, it's nice to be on this side of it. You know, it's funny, Frank, I was talking to a friend today, and we got the 9 wins, which guarantees a winning season. And there's been no mention of that part of it. So it just tells you how the bar has been raised in terms of the expectations and standards with the Jaguars. It's kind of great to be around.
Think about this. I was telling Hayes this earlier today. There have been 10 quarterbacks have started the season for the Jags in their 31 season. Now, I say 10 starting quarterbacks. I'm counting Chad Henne because he was a starting quarterback in 14 or whatever it was. So there really hadn't been 10 that finished the season. But there have been 10 starting quarterbacks when a season began. Only 2 have had 3 winning seasons, Mark Brunell and Trevor Lawrence. Did you realize that? Only 2.
Wow. That's crazy.
Yeah. So give Trevor some credit, no question about it. What stood out to you yesterday? You're on the sideline getting drenched, by the way, but was it the complimentary football? Was Trevor continuing to evolve? The reemergence of Brian Thomas Jr.? What jumped off the page the most for you?
I would say the total package. I would say Liam's vision coming to fruition in a game that decided the division at this moment, meaning everything that Liam has talked about from the offseason about being a tough team that played on the edges, complementary football, situational masters, quarterback that plays at a high level, being efficient and effective, all those things came to fruition in that moment. Look, the weather conditions were going to be a factor, all of the heightened expectations, all of the intrigue about could the Jaguars do it, and they came out and they took care of business from beginning to end. And I can't say that it was an A-plus performance in terms of like, hey, this is the best that we've ever seen the Jaguars play, but it was a team that was good, that played really well against a great opponent, and the quarterback did his job and everything. So to me, it was kind of validation that this team is a good team that understands what's required to win these meaningful games.
I think calling the games and working with you and Jeff and then kind of going back and watching the game again on TV, which is what I do, I think this. I think Trevor Lawrence is playing free and easy more than he has in the previous 4.5 years. Mm-hmm. You know, in basketball, Bucky, the best shooters are the ones that aren't worried about missing. They just keep shooting. Yeah. You know, they're the best shooter. The best shooter I want on my basketball team is a guy that isn't worried if he's going to miss. He's going to take the open look. And Trevor feels more like that to me right now. Do you get that same sense?
100%. And I said this in the middle or at the end of the Arizona Cardinals game, when he had the 4 turnovers. And I said, man, this is like the best I've seen him play in terms of just being decisive, letting it rip, not blinking or flinching when he had a bad play, but continuing to play. And from that moment on, he has been very free and easy, as you talked about, just being able to let it rip, being fearless but not reckless, giving his players the best opportunity to succeed. And he's done it without just focusing on one player. The best thing that we've seen in talking to Bretton Strange after the game about this is everyone knows that, man, if I run my route hard, the ball may come to me. And the best offenses are the ones that the ball just goes to the open man. And we're seeing that. And I'm so happy to see him find his confidence and find his way. And I love the fact that he's been able to stick with Brian Thomas Jr., Jacoby Myers. Whenever those guys may not be at their best or they're struggling, it doesn't change him from going to them when they're the open guy.
That's a great point. He doesn't shy away at all. You're exactly right. Let's talk about Brian Thomas Jr. He's starting to emerge a little bit. Listen, when he is right, he's got an explosiveness the rest of them don't have. He may not be as complete a football player right now as Jacoby Myers or Parker Washington, but he's got a gear that very few people in the NFL have. Do you sense that it's coming back around? That you talked about his confidence early in the year. You're down there on the field with those guys. Do you sense he's regained some of that confidence?
I believe it's coming. I believe it's coming each and every week. I believe there are a few different factors that have helped him kind of get back to being the Brian Thomas Jr. that we saw last year. One, the injury gave him an opportunity to get away from the game and to kind of reset and refocus. Two, I would say maybe some of the tough love tactics that the Jaguars have employed in terms of like, hey, when you come back, like, hey, you got to earn your way back into the lineup, in the rotation, into whatever role that you're going to play. Three, I think Liam Cohen has a better feel for what he does well, and he's only asking him to do things that he does really well. So you talked about basketball analogies. Great shooters only take shots that they can hit. Well, when you ask Brian Thomas to do things that he does really well, which is take the top off the defense, run things that are outbreaking towards the sideline, he's a really good player doing that. So you know what you do? Ask him to do those things. And we're seeing him do that and do it effectively. And it's funny because he only had 3 catches. But, man, 80-plus yards on those 3 catches. I've said and I've maintained when people were down on him, we're going to need Brian Thomas Jr. down the stretch to be the team that we need, because there's going to be a thing where that talent that he brings to the table, he can overwhelm people with his speed and explosiveness. We're going to need that when people lock down on the running game and to take away the intermediate passing game. You have to have at least one person that can take the top off. BTJ is that guy.
And I can tell you, I've been in meetings with you, and you and I have had to talk offline, and you've said it to me. I've heard you say it, that people wanted to give up on Brian Thomas Jr. He just wasn't the right guy, wasn't tough enough, didn't want to get hit, didn't have good enough hands. And I've heard you say more than one time, Bucky, no, you can't give up on him yet. You cannot, because he's got something that even the other guys on this team don't have, right?
Look, there's a difference, right? And when I was real young as a scout, like a coach and a personnel guy told me, there's a difference between the talent that you see a first rounder have and a 5th, 6th, and undrafted player.
Yep.
When you look at Brian Thomas Jr. and how easy it is in terms of him moving, the explosiveness, all that other stuff, there was a reason why he was a first-round pick. And what you want to do with guys who are really talented, you want to give them every opportunity to realize their potential. And if we take his body of work from beginning to end, meaning from the beginning of his rookie year to now, he's had way too many flashes to be like, oh, yeah, we're ready to move on from that. So what you do is you may reduce his role at times until he gets his confidence back, but you don't punt on that until you fully exhausted everything that you could exhaust. Because another example of that, Devin Lloyd. When you have talented players that you take early, you give them every chance to succeed. And we've seen with the first-round picks that we've had, when we do that, it normally pays us off in spades.
Well, you must be looking at my notes, because my very next question was going to be, why has Devin Lloyd become such a good player after it looked like early in his career he would be just okay? What has changed for him? I mean, he's in better shape. By his own admission, he lost 25 pounds or so between last year and this year. But it's not just that, is it? Why is he suddenly such an impactful player?
The number one thing that evaluators will tell you when it comes to players, fit in scheme. How does a player fit in the scheme is the biggest determining factor of whether they will have success. This scheme fits what Devin Lloyd does really, really well. When you go all the way back to his days at Utah, he was a bit of a hybrid player that could play on the edges but also played linebacker. He was one of the best coverage linebackers to come out in terms of his ball skills, his awareness, his instincts in zone. What they've done, Anthony Campanelli deserves a lot of credit. Despite whatever the tape looked like before, they put him in a position that played to his skill set. You don't have 5 interceptions at linebacker by accident. You can't fall your way into 5 interceptions. His instincts, his awareness, his playmaking ability has shown up in this scheme. And because this scheme is a vision and break, scheme where you see ball, you get ball, you attack. Not that there's no complexity to it, but it is a see ball, go get the ball, go chase it. It has allowed him just to play. And the best players aren't bogged down by the mental clutter. Because of the scheme, it has allowed him to be the player that he was at Utah, which is why we're seeing him play at a Pro Bowl level, which is what he was drafted to do and be for the Jaguars.
Bucky Brooks with us talking Jaguar football. All right, let's look ahead. The Jags are already installed as an 11.5-point favorite on Sunday. That's a gigantic number in the National Football League, obviously. Any concern about complacency, asleep at the wheel? I don't think that's how this team is wired, but you're around them more. You're closer to them than I am. What do you think?
It's interesting. That was the first question that I asked Liam Cohen. I asked Brendan Strange, I asked some of the players. Okay, look, everyone's going to tell you after you win this big game, you got the Jets coming to town. How do you maintain the focus to give them the attention that they deserve and the respect that they deserve when they come in the building? And all of them said, you lean back into your process. Your preparation doesn't change regardless of the opponent. Now, they don't talk about it being whoever they're playing next, but they always just talk about, hey, it's about us. And as long as we stay true to that statement, it's about us. It's about who we are when it comes to preparing and getting ready. Doesn't matter who the other team is when they run out of the tunnel. We're going to be fine because the standards don't change regardless of the opponent. You want to see us run hard. You want to see us play physical. You want to see us commit to the running game. You want to see the quarterback get loose. If we're sticking to those tenets and principles that we've talked about, it doesn't matter whether the Jets come in 1-15 or whatever. They're just the next team that's on deck, and so we should treat them as such.
What do you think about this? I mean, why the Jets been such a disaster? The Justin Fields thing didn't work. The Zach Wilson thing didn't work. Why are the Jets in that great media market and with a little bit of history been so bad, in your opinion?
Well, I mean, when you have a new coach taking over in Aaron Glenn, and he's trying to install a culture that he's very familiar with, having spent time in Detroit and also having played under Bill Parcells, it can take a while for it to buy in. But really, the number one thing that has plagued them has been the lack of consistent quarterback play. When your quarterback is consistent, it helps the offense find its rhythm, find its way. And everybody plays better when the offense is rolling because the defense knows how to play complementary football based on what the offense is doing. But because they've been so inconsistent at quarterback, it has prevented them to kind of finding their way. Last week, they had to play with a rookie quarterback, Brady Cook, coming from Missouri, who you're familiar with.
Right.
But it was overwhelming for him to get his first opportunity. Now, the difference is if he's the guy that has to start against us, he'll have a week of practice. He'll be better prepared to play. They have a game plan that is suited towards him. And so we can't kind of fall asleep at the wheel with the young guy. Very similar to how, like, Riley Leonard came in and you didn't know what you were dealing with. So we just got to have our antennas up, be ready to deal with the uncertainty of what the offense can look like with him. But, man, we got to take care of business, jump on them early. And as you know, when you jump on these teams early, they'll kind of fall apart because you haven't given them any life. So it'd be important for us to play well the opening quarter, the opening half, to make sure we don't make it a very, very tough affair when it doesn't have to be that way against a team that we're better than.
Bucky, final thing. Where do you see the division headed? Obviously, the Jags have a one-game lead over the Texans. The Texans have to go to the Chargers, and then they've got three other ones they probably are going to win. The Jags have to go to the Broncos and then have three others they could win. Where's this thing headed? Does it come down to the Texans at the Chargers and the Jags at the Broncos? Is it that simple, do you think?
No, I mean, I don't think you get too far in front. Like, the good thing is we're in the lead. The bad thing is we gave that game away like a few weeks ago. We can't get that back. I'm going to say this. I think the Jags and the Texans are two of the hottest teams in ball. Yeah. And I think both teams are playing very, very well heading down the stretch. I don't know how this thing is going to shake out. I would love to say that we're going to win the rest of them and we'll hold on to the lead. But regardless, look, you got two teams that are playing very, very well. We want to continue to stay on the edge because this is what I know about the Texans. That defense is legit. They're fast. They're physical. They're swarming. And they make it very difficult for anyone to score points. So I expect them to be in the mix. My hope is that we continue to play well. We win the division so we can get that home game and maybe even one of the top seeds if we can't supplant one of those teams at the top for the number one seed.
All right, Bucky Brooks talking about NFL football and talking Jaguar football. When did you dry out, by the way? Like how many you had raincoats, rain gear, rain boots, rain hat? You had it all, didn't you?
I'm gonna tell you, like, Frank, I feel like post game interview, I was wetter than I've been doing the regular game. I was sitting there completely drenched through all the layers that I had because look, I told you I'm never gonna let equipment beat you. I had on so much stuff for that game. But it finally got to me at the end. I had to kind of lay everything out. But, yeah, it was a wet one. It was a fun one, though, because we won. It would have been miserable if we lost.
So when the game ended, Bucky had Jarian Jones out there, and Jeff's finishing up a point, and I'm just watching Bucky look at us in the broadcast booth saying, Jeff, Frank, hurry up. Let me get my interview. I'm drenched out here. It's pouring, and you two guys are gabbing in the dang dry broadcast booth, right?
Oh, my God. Yeah, no, it was a good one. But you know what, man? It was a lot of fun. And I will say anyone who was at the game deserves credit. Yep. But the grounds crew, man, the field, it was as if it wasn't even raining. It was perfect. The conditions were perfect for the players. Outside of having to deal with the wet ball, the footing was never an issue, so they deserve a lot of credit.
Yeah, they really did. The field was in great shape. Bucky Brooks checking in, talking Jaguar football. Thanks, Bucky. See you next week, buddy.
All right, man. Talk to you.
All right, Bucky Brooks, and I'm watching him down on the sideline. He's got Jarian, and Jeff and I are finishing up a point, and as I throw to him, I know he's thinking, really? Can you guys just throw it down there? I'm the one that's drenched up here. You guys are dry and warm in your broadcast booth, but Bucky does a great job, and Jeff and I love working with him. I can tell you that. We'll take a break. More in a moment. Stay with us.
It's the ride home with the Frangie Show from the Harold and Harold studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
Go! Your play-by-play home of Bulls Bulldogs football is 1010XL.
It's the state championship, and the Bulldogs' 12th title is on the line against Cardinal Mooney of Sarasota. Wednesday at 7 on 1010 AM.
I'm Julie Harrell. I grew up here in Jacksonville and have seen our city grow as well as the number of car crashes. If you need help after a crash, choose a law firm with an actual office here. Lawyers you can meet with face-to-face and who specialize in personal injury. At Harrell & Harrell, we've been here for nearly 40 years, developing relationships with local doctors, law enforcement, helping people just like you. If you've been injured in a crash, call Harrell & Harrell. Offices, Jacksonville.
Frank Frangie here. These days, it's hard to know which companies to trust. When it comes to banking, I trust South State Bank. South State truly values its customers, and they work hard to create meaningful, lasting relationships. I love going into my local branch. I see the same smiling faces I've seen for years. South State is the largest bank headquartered in Florida, so they're able to offer all the banking services you need. You can trust South State Bank. Banking forward. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Beaver Toyota, Beaver Chevrolet, and Beaver Mitsubishi are on a mission to sell 2,000 vehicles this December. I've instructed my team to take every reasonable offer. We won't lose your business over price. Thousands of cars, trucks, and SUVs priced to move. Get year-end savings, top dollar for your trade, and the easiest car buying experience ever. But hurry, these deals end when we hit 2,000, and we ain't leaving nothing on the table. Make it a December to remember, only at Beaver Toyota, Beaver Chevrolet, and Beaver Mitsubishi.
This holiday season, Universal Roofing Contracting is making it easy to check roof repairs off your list. Save up to 20% on roof replacements and repairs now through December 31st. Financing is available with payments as low as $115. Call 855-ROOF-HELP for your free inspection. Universal Roofing Contracting, protecting your home and building your trust. License number CCC 057165, CBC 1258484.
UniversalRoof.com.
Local 234 plumbers, pipe fitters, and HVAC technicians would like to wish everyone a Merry Christmas and thank you to all the members and contractors for their continued support and partnership. Together, they've helped build a stronger foundation for Jacksonville since 1901. Enjoy spending time with your friends and families this holiday season. Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Local 234, make the right connection. Proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Lauren Brooks here for Terminix. When pests invade your home or business, you don't just need them out, you need them out fast. And you need to keep them out. At Terminix, they'll show up for you and eliminate pests quicker, just like they did at my house, because they care about what matters most to you. When pests show up, so does Terminix. Don't live with a pest problem, Terminix it. Visit Terminix.com today to schedule a free inspection online. That's TERMINIX.com. That's right, Terminix it.
Hey, Hicken here. This episode is brought to you by Prize Picks. It's the holiday season, the best time of year for sports, bowl games, basketball matchups, playoff pushes, all happening at once. And while you and I are out here making decisions every day, what gifts to buy, what to eat, which game to watch, there's one place where it feels good to be right. Prize Picks. And boy, talk about all the great features. Prize Picks now has early payouts. If your lineup gets off to a hot start, you now have the option to cash out those winnings before the game even finishes. Hey, my fantasy football season's cooked, but with Prize Picks, we don't have to wait until next year's draft. Prize Picks lets you play fantasy football every week. Pick your favorite players and win when they hit their projections every week. No draft required. Here's what you do. Download that Prize Picks app today. It's so easy. Use code 1010XL. You get $50 in lineup after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code 1010XL. You get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks. It's good to be right.
Look around and we know you've got options for gasoline, but those other places, they're not in the business of more. At Shell, that's what you get every day. Members get more rewards, more savings, more special offers. You'll even get 10 cents per gallon off of your first fill when you sign up and save on every fill after that. Choose to get more and more with every drive. Join the Shell Fuel Rewards program today at fuelrewards.com. Offer valid at participating Shell locations. Offer must be redeemed within 60 days of registration. Limit 20 gallons. Restrictions apply. Visit fuelrewards.com for more information.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch.
Now the cool down with Donovan Air, Electric and Plumbing, keeping Jax cool since '87.
All right, today in the program we talked about that Jags win, another terrific win over the Indianapolis Colts, 12 in a row here at home against the Colts. Pretty amazing stuff. More importantly, the Jags now in sole possession of first place in the AFC South. It's going to be tough sledding, obviously, for the Colts now without their quarterback, with their top two quarterbacks. So they're playing a rookie. Meanwhile, the Texans continue to win. So what a battle it's going to be in the AFC South. We certainly talked about that today on the program. We talked about John Sumrall and the galvanizing effect his presence has had on Gator Nation, which I didn't see coming. I thought if it was anybody but Kiffin, it wouldn't be like that, but it has been. We talked about the college football playoff. Did they get it right? Did they not? We talked about the Georgia Bulldogs, the Gator Bowl selection, and even touched on the Heisman Trophy. That's where we've been over the course of the program today. I like the college football playoff. It is – I'm having to adjust to what's become of the bowl system now. We all knew the playoff would water down the bowl some. That the common sense told you that because you're taking 12 teams out of the typical bowl rotation, even though some of the playoff games are bowl games. It's a clunky bowl season. Part of that for us, too, is Florida State and Florida aren't in it. So the Gators and the Noles aren't in it. The Gator Bowl, try as they may, didn't really land a Southern sort of team. And then really good teams we follow closely, Georgia, Alabama, are in the playoff. They're in a tournament. So it made the bowl system feel weird. Did you feel that way?
Without a doubt. And I do think you have to wonder what is the future for these bowl games. In between opt-outs and like you're losing your elite teams every year to the playoff, which is only going to expand further. I think it's tough. I mean, it seems like it's an element that has an uncertain future in its place.
Yeah, it's just the whole deal is a little bit weird, and as I watch it, I don't know. It's just I love the bowls. I used to love New Year's Day, and there's still bowls on New Year's Day. They're playoff games. It just feels weird to me, and look.
You used to be able to be 10-2 or 9-2 back in the day, and go to the Sun Bowl and win and have a good season, and that was that.
And you loved watching those.
If you don't make the playoffs, it's like your season sucked.
Yeah, and I'm, by the way, the ultimate hypocrite because I'm the one pushing really hard for a playoff tournament. So if I now say the tournament, the bowls are no good, well, shame on me. I'm the ultimate hypocrite, and I know that. I'm glad we have the 12, and I'm glad we're going to 16. It just feels different. It just feels weird.
I also just think there's a component now in how the sport is played and how you construct rosters where I just don't think playing in a bowl game, I think you're better served to take that time and energy and focus on who do you think is going to be in the portal. First off, retaining your own roster.
It's a very good point.
But then getting a look at, this is a massive project for NFL teams. And there's only 31 other teams they've got to worry about with only 53-man rosters. So a much smaller pool of players. And these NFL teams devote tons of resources to making sure they know every one of those players and have a scouting report on all those players and an evaluation.
think about it at the college level. You've got 133 Division I schools that have 100 kids on each team. I mean, that is a massive amount of talent that you've got to have some idea on, so that if the player enters the portal, you need to know, where does this guy fall on our receiver board? Is he 3? Is he 33? And so much goes into that. I just think for coaching staffs, they have some front office help, but it's not to the level of what NFL coaches have at their disposal with GMs. I just think you need December now. If you're not in the playoff, you got to hunker down and start figuring out your 26 team.
And there's no question. And you're right about that, and that's what teams are doing. So we'll see. All right, we're going to take a break, wrap the program. But you know what? Send somebody to the farm.
Yes.
I'm not asking for much. My needs are small.
Absolutely. It's a Victory Monday, and our friends at the farm at Okefenokee, huge Jaguar fans.
Love the food at the farm.
Oh, my gosh. It's incredible. I can't wait for us to go back after football. It's going to be a lot of fun. They are having another one of their dinners Saturday night. This event is sold out, but we're going to give away a pair of tickets right now. Again, the farm at Okefenokee.
They all sell out, by the way.
Oh, yeah. It's an hour north of here. It's in Folkston, Georgia. So Jeff, our good buddy, sent me the menu. It is extraordinary. Prime rib popped off the page to me, but there's all sorts of different options.
When is this thing again?
Yeah, it's Saturday night.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just curious.
How
do you bring it up?
Yeah. Now, you can't move the date, so please only call if you can attend Saturday's event. That is what this event is. It's a Saturday night dinner. You'll have a wonderful time. You'll get to see the property, and again, the farm at Okefenokee selling these wonderful cabins. If you're interested, but this is a dinner, and they'd love to have you out and give you a great meal. And I can tell you from looking at the menu, you will be dazzled by what they have to offer. Congaree and Penn is their culinary partners in this. So we will go 641-1010 right now is the number, and we will take caller number 3.
Take a break. Back to wrap the program after this.
The Frangie Show from the Harold and Harold studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
This is Brent Musburger's Visa in Action update on 1010XL. Brought to you by Duck Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic, and Air Conditioning. When you're stuck, call the Duck. Proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
The 12-team college football playoff is set, and the 4 teams getting first-round byes, Indiana, Ohio State, Georgia, and Texas Tech. The Buckeyes are coming off a loss to Indiana in the Big Ten title game, but they are the betting favorite to repeat as national champions. Ohio State at plus 220. Indiana, unbeaten at 13-0, are plus 290. Georgia, coming off an SEC championship win over Alabama, plus 550. Oregon, plus 800. Texas Tech, who won the Big 12 title over BYU, they are plus 900, while Texas A&M plus 1,700 to win the national championship.
Progressive helping veterans drive their lives forward. More info, keysofprogress.com.
I'm Tony Desiri with your Visa in Action update on 1010XL.
The holidays are coming, and so is your family. Is your septic system ready?
Honey, why is the yard bubbling?
Dad, the dog's swimming in the septic tank.
That's one way to greet the in-laws.
Don't let a septic disaster be the highlight of your holiday dinner. Call Duck Duck Rooter today and get it fixed before Uncle Bob finds out the hard way. Duck Duck Rooter, your local septic experts. Proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. DuckDuckRooter.com.
Greenlaw Group is for the insured. If you think you have roof damage, call 904-302-7055 today, and they will schedule you a free roof inspection. Trust their law firm to help you fight your insurance when you need it. These storms can cause damage you may not even see yet. Call Greenlaw Group 302-7055. There's no cost to retain their law firm and no cost to have your roof inspected. They only get paid if you win. Greenlaw Group, for the insured.
Hey, Jacksonville, I'm sure by now you've seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We are an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We are committed to customer service, reliability, and have unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today. GFL, green for life.
Need some extra cash for the holidays? Beaches Jewelry and Pawn in Jax Beach is always looking to buy guns, guitars, surfboards, tools, and you know it, gold. Get cash today at Beach's Jewelry and Pawn in Jax Beach.
Hey, it's Rick Ballou. I just upgraded my home with fantastic floors, and the experience was incredible. Rusty and the team brought the showroom to me with their at-home consultation. The whole process was simple, the installation was top-notch, and the results, absolutely fantastic. Take it from me. Don't wait. Visit fanfloors.com and schedule your at-home consultation today. Fantastic Floors, where every step is fantastic.
This classic Army-Navy game moment is brought to you by Superior Fence and Rail, where quality matters.
Second down and 8, trailing by 3. Bradshaw! Touchdown, Army! Well, Vern, it's literally this far to end 15 years of misery. Yeah. About a yard. Time and said one more. Here it is.
You waited forever for your new fence. Then, strangers show up. Subcontractors rushing the job. Sent by the company you trusted. Frustrating, right? Superior Fence and Rail promises better. Their professionally trained builders deliver quality you can trust. No subcontractors, no shortcuts. Just the superior craftsmanship your home deserves.
When you're on the fence, about a fence, SuperiorFenceandRail.com.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah.
It's a Best Bet Monday on The Frangie Show with fantastic locations in Jacksonville, Orange Park, and St. Augustine. It's Best Bet.
Got your decorations up? All the Christmas up? Is everywhere?
We do have a pretty good bit of it up. I don't know that it's all up because I still see some boxes, but yeah, a lot of it's up.
It's all
you guys
up.
have been.
It's been up, I think, right about October.
You've been all systems go for a while.
About October, I think, it's when the
as
wife
soon
started.
as Michael Myers goes back into the.
It's unbelievable. My wife loves to get it up. So it's up. It's up and everywhere. It's all. But now the neighborhood's all. I'm feeling Christmassy.
Yeah.
The team's winning.
Oh yeah.
Got a new coach.
Cold out.
It's hard to believe we're
cold.
like 2 weeks away.
Yeah, I'm all Christmas. Jed, you gotta give something.
That's
what do you
crazy
got? What do
that
you got
you
in there?
asked
Give me
that
something
because
away
I
in there.
have multiple things to give.
Just pick something.
So this is all part of our great gift ideas, for more great gift ideas, you can go to 1010XL Holiday Gift Guide at 1010XL.com. And for you guys, I have a free Q flower arrangement, plus $50 at my favorite breakfast spot in town, the Metro Diner.
Love it.
So be caller number 4 right now at 641-1010, and you'll get both.
Okay, I'm just Christmas. That's what we're giving away today. We're giving away. So I knew JJ had something. He's always got something. He's got a
Santa
pouch.
Frange.
He's got something in a pouch. He carries a pouch around. Okay, you know he's
Marsupial.
I knew he had something. He'd have something in that pouch. I knew he'd have that. So he's got that going for him. So all right, almost out of time. But what a weekend for the Jags. What a fun end of the season, too, it's going to be, Hayes. We'll talk to Rick about this in a second. But what a fun home stretch. 4 games left. You got a good team. Of the 4 games left, you still have 2 home games that you should turn out. Holidays, people are off work. You're going to be a kind of a prohibitive favorite in both home games starting this week. It's going to be a fun end of the season. It really is. I'm really looking forward to what a good home stretch. There's been an awful lot of these home stretches where we're starting to think about the draft. You know that? It's kind of nice that we're not.
It's incredible. And speaking of the draft, by the way, tough luck, Browns. But that pick that you got from James Gladstone and the Travis Hunter deal, that pick's probably going to be in the mid-20s.
Yeah.
I can guarantee it's not going to be in the top 15.
At best.
Yeah, at best. So that trade, obviously, from a compensation
And when I'm flying
standpoint,
back from Santa Clara in February, I may be telling you it's 31 or 32.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been an unbelievable season, and the best seasons are the ones that come out of nowhere, and this one has come out of nowhere. I mean, they were a 4-win team last year, as we pointed out. Everybody that's running the show now in Jacksonville, it's their first time doing it, first year here and first time in the role, and it's just I don't think I appreciate in September and the early part of October the gauntlet they were surviving and thriving through. At San Fran, win. Chiefs here Monday night, win. And now it's gotten to a point where they're taking advantage of the schedule easing up, and hopefully that will continue Sunday against the Jets.
They're certainly in a very good place. No question about that. Let's say hello to Rick Ballou.
Now, the 2-minute drill is driven by nobody but Nimnicht. Nimnicht Chevrolet on Cassett Avenue and Nimnicht Buick GMC on Phillips Highway.
Rick, the home team is playing at a pretty good level, aren't they?
Man, they're playing good football. 10 times this year they've scored 25 plus.
Isn't that amazing? Like 7 in a row now? I think it's 6,
Right.
it's 6 or 7 in a row.
Right.
Something like that.
And we figured first one to 30, and then that ended up being the case. But, the Jaguars' defense was outstanding. They gave up that garbage time touchdown, but they shut down Taylor, and they knocked out Jones. And, wow. It appears they got out of that game pretty healthy.
Yeah,
Jacksonville
they
did.
You know, and I don't want to overlook the Jets. All NFL games are NFL games. Like Hayes said, they're 3-3 in their last 6, so they're playing better, regardless of who they wind up playing at quarterback. So I don't want to jump ahead of the Jets game. I'm not going to do that, or jump ahead of the Jets game. But I do think we'll have a chance to see in 2 weeks, because I think they're playing as well as anybody in the league. Mm-hmm. And I think when they go to Denver, you know what I mean, Rick? I think we'll get a chance to learn. I'm not getting ahead, but I'm just telling you, as we have a conversation on radio, we'll get a pretty good idea to see where they measure up against what's been the elite of the league this year.
Well, yeah, you just look at it, and now with Jones out, it looks like, you show up, you win 3 games.
You would think.
Right. Then you got that major playoff type of test, playoff type of game, much like what was the case yesterday, going to Denver in those elements. So, yeah, and you know what? I don't believe this team will look ahead. I think they're really grounded, and I think they'll do a good job coaching them up all week long. But yeah, a week from Sunday, what a game that's going to be. Taking the trip out there to Mile High, and always a difficult place to play a football game.
Yeah, it is, and it's a fun place to travel, no question. But the Jags, they win again, 4 in a row, 5 out of the last 6 are playing great. What's coming up tonight? We
got a lot tonight with the Jags, and certainly college football and the snub. And, I don't know if you've ever heard it before, but whenever I read about, the battle that's going on now with Jim Phillips, the commissioner, and Bavacqua, the AD at Notre Dame. You ever hear Tommy Lasorda on Pete Bavacqua?
No, I remember Pete Bavacqua, but I haven't heard Tommy Lasorda.
He said something about it, and Lasorda's going nuts, and he goes, I tell you what, and he was dropping F-bombs every third word. He goes, if you can guarantee me that Bavacqua's in the lineup, I'll personally take a limo over there, pick him up, and bring him to the ballpark. It was one of the greatest Tommy Lasordas of all time.
And that's what you think when you hear Bavacqua.
No, and remember the bubble gum? Remember the baseball card when they blowing the huge bubble?
I do.
It was like
Pete
a world-sized bubble. Pete Bavacqua.
All right, I'll cover it up tonight. Rick's going to talk Jaguars and a whole lot more tonight. Yeah, the ACC thing, by the way. Speaking of baseball, we didn't even get to it, but let me be clear now. Jeff Kent in and Dale Murphy out. Is that right? Oh, yeah. We didn't get a chance to get to it today.
And the guy who's responsible for getting Jeff Kent in, Barry Bonds,
right.
also not in.
Yeah, but correct. But, Jeff Kent in and Dale Murphy out.
It's just awful.
Yeah, and
nothing against him.
Yeah.
Dale Murphy's a Hall of Fame.
Right.
Yeah, so amazing
and obviously
stuff.
Barry Bonds. Come on.
And again, the Bonds.
But Dale Murphy did nothing wrong.
Not right.
He's a great player.
Exactly.
2-time MVP.
No question.
He's not in the All-Star.
While playing center field.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Folks, that's our program. Rick Ballou is next. We'll see you tomorrow on 1010 XL 92.5 FM.